Canon has entered mirrorless market last of all the companies, and their first camera, the EOS M, was not very well accepted. It had slowest autofocus ever seen and offered nothing new in terms of features or image quality. 2.5 years later we have this, the EOS M3. Let's see if it is any better. These are the most important specifications when compared to competition. As you can see, nothing stands out except the overblown price when compared to similarly featured cameras like Sony Alpha 5100, Olympus Pen EPL5 or Panasonic GF7. When you compare it with similarly priced cameras like Sony Alpha 6000, Olympus EM10 or Panasonic G7, it seems they all offer quite more than EOS M3. Even more interesting is the last line with number of available native lenses. Canon has only 4 of them, and even though they do cover most interesting focal lengths, this is nothing compared to what is offered by the competition. Not a good start of the review. Anyway, let's see how it looks in real life. Maybe there's some surprise waiting for us. Overall handling is not that bad for a camera this size. Small grip is here, but it doesn't make it holdable with single hand. EOS M3 felt best when held with both hands. Build quality is good, but materials used are worse than on first generation EOS M. Now Canon uses rough looking plastic similar to that used on FX530 or FX60 ultra zoom models. Also, rubber material used on the grip and thumb rest is not the same. Strange. Dials are firm and feel solid when rotated. I really like this dedicated exposure compensation dial. All the buttons are big, but with very short travel. Canon EOS M3 uses 24 megapixels APS-C sensor. Image quality delivered is on a high level. Both low and high ISO results are similar to that of other competitors. Here's a quick look at high ISO results. In my opinion, EOS M3 is usable up to ISO 6400 in most occasions. I also tried underexposing and lifting shadows in post-process to see if this sensor can match the one from Sony used in Nikon D5500 and D7200. While results are improved compared to old Canon 80 megapixel sensor, Nikon still has better results. It is important to say this only matters when used in RAW format and in case of extreme dynamic range scenarios. If you are a JPEG only shooter, it makes no practical difference. Video recording is available at Full HD and 30 frames per second. 60p is available only in lower resolution. EOS M3 has built-in microphone or you can attach external one. In both cases it is possible to adjust sound level. Video quality is mostly fine, but still there are better cameras for video. EOS M3 suffers from noir effect, lack of details, and 60p recording would make video much more fluid when panning or recording moving subjects. It is fine for amateur family use, but video enthusiasts should look elsewhere. Let's take a look at menu system. Quick menu has familiar looks. Just scroll up and down and left to right to adjust highlighted setting. It also works when used with Touch LCD. 3 buttons on this camera are custom assignable. Custom button right next to shutter, erase button and movie recording button. For each of them you can select one of 16 offered options. Main menu is similar to EOS DSLR models, in other words color coded and easy to understand. Let's take a look at some more interesting options. Aspect ratio has 4 available options and they work both for JPEG and RAW. This camera lets you select what information will be displayed on LCD during live view. There are 4 display layouts and for each of them you can adjust what you want to see. Touch shutter lets you take the shot right after the camera has acquired focus. Auto ISO control is still basic. It is only possible to adjust highest ISO value, but not shutter speed at which it changes. Touch operation has 2 sensitivity levels and can also be completely disabled. At the end there is my menu in which you can assign up to 5 often used settings for quick access. There are only 4 native lenses now available for EOS M lens mount. Wide angle, telephoto, 1 prime lens and this 18-55 all-around kit lens I have right now with EOS M3. It has good build quality, built-in image stabilization and silent STM focusing system, but optically might be better. Light fall-off in corners is visible and has some barrel distortion at wide angle. Autofocus speed was for a long time Achilles heel for Canon mirrorless cameras. With EOS M3 things look way better and autofocus works fast. Still not as fast as Olympus or Panasonic, but fast enough for most users. Thanks to good touch LCD, autofocus point can easily be placed anywhere in the frame. Something that, for example, all Sony cameras lack. They require like million button presses to change autofocus point. Touch shutter is also present on M3. The camera will focus and take a shot when you touch the LCD. While I mentioned LCD, let's say it has 3 inches diagonal and 1 million dots. Viewing quality and angles are pretty much perfect. It has touch capability which works quite good, and screen is also tiltable 45 degrees down and 180 degrees up for a selfie. Brightness can be adjusted in 5 steps, but even the strongest one might not be enough for sunny day use. Small pop-up flash is built in. It can be tilted upward for bounce, but you'll need to experiment with that since it gets disabled after one point when tilted. Hot shoe is also present and has special connectors at the back of it used for electronic viewfinder, which is sold as an extra addition. As far as connectivity goes, EOS M3 has mini HDMI on the right side and a mini USB and 3.5mm microphone input on the left side. Wi-Fi and NFC are also built in. Altogether, it is hard for me to think about EOS M3 camera as a serious tool. Considering its features, ergonomics and lens selection now available, it is clear that EOS M exists only because competition makes mirrorless cameras. Out of 4 native lenses in production, 3 are slow aperture tourist zooms and only 22mm f2 lens looks a bit more interesting to anyone passionate about photography. For amateur use this is all that is needed, but with Olympus, Panasonic, Sony and Fuji making much more advanced and better featured cameras, Canon will need to try a lot harder. For example, at the current price of EOS M3, which is around $700, you can buy Sony Alpha 6000, which is better at absolutely everything except not having touch LCD. Finally, I can say EOS M3 is not a bad camera, but is simply too boring to stand out from the crowd. It is good at everything, but exceptional at nothing. That's all for this review. I hope I gave you valuable information. If you have a question, feel free to ask me in the comment section below. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for updates, and if you want to support me, buy stuff on Amazon using my affiliate links below the video. You will not pay more than otherwise, but I will get a small percentage. Thanks for watching.